What's up, fight fans? UFC 259. What a card they gave us. 3 title fights in the main event. Israel Adesanya versus John Blachowicz in the co-main. Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson. And the co-main, Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. Who's got that killer instinct? Now remember, we're not just picking the winners. We're picking the biggest payouts. Now before we get to the 3 title fights, let's look at some great payouts. Dominic Cruz versus Kenny Casey. Cruz coming in at a plus 115 underdog. You can make 2.1 times your money. Kenny Casey at a minus 143 favorite. You can make 75 cents on the dollar. Doesn't everyone think Dominic Cruz is just a better fighter? Yes, he's more injury prone, but he's very cerebral. At 2.15 times, smart money puts it down on Dominic Cruz. Another great payout, Thiago Santos versus Alexander Rakic. Santos coming in at a plus 140 underdog. You can make 2.4 times your money. Rakic at a minus 175 favorite. You can make 57 cents on the dollar. Now Rakic is a much bigger guy coming in at 6'5" tall. He has a hell of a right hand. That bomb could put anybody to sleep. But Thiago Santos, he's super well-rounded and very excited. And he has Thor's hammer on his chest. But in his last performance, he was horrible. But he did admit that he did not execute his game plan. So a focused Thiago Santos with a great game plan versus a bigger guy. He's going to take this. Smart money puts it down on Thiago Santos at 2.4 times your money. Now let's get to the first title fight of the night. Bantamweight title on the line. Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. Yan coming in at a minus 120 favorite. You can make 83 cents on the dollar. And Sterling coming in at a minus 105 favorite. You can make 95 cents on the dollar. Let's break this one down. Yan, he's a great boxer and a great kickboxer. And I love how he raises his knees and his elbows in order to block any strike that comes his way. He also likes to switch his stance. He goes from orthodox to southpaw. And at southpaw, he likes to throw this left cross and he follows up with a looping right hook. And I love that from him. He also likes to throw these uppercuts from any stance, and they're super vicious, and I love that about him. That's one of the things that makes him really exciting. They're both 5'7", so this should be super competitive. He also likes to throw the front kick to the chin, and he's aiming for your chin. This guy's just ferocious, period. I love this guy. There's a reason why he's the favorite coming into this fight. Aljamain Sterling, he too is a ferocious fighter. He has a 3-inch reach advantage versus Yan. He's super intense. He has great footwork. We know that he wants to close that distance, go for the clinch, and take him to the ground. He himself is promoting that he wants to use Dad's plan, and he's looking for a submission. But we can't underestimate his striking. He throws these amazing looping hooks himself, but he happens to dip his head when he throws these hooks. So I'm not sure if that's a risk or if that's something that Yan might capitalize on, just lowering his head when he does that. But he also has a great mix of front kicks and roundhouse kicks. So just overall, he's great. He puts a lot of pressure on you. Smart money puts it down on Aljamain Sterling at 95 cents on the dollar. Now let's break down the women's featherweight title fight of the night. Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson. Nunes coming in at a minus 12.50 favorite. You can make 8 cents on the dollar. And Anderson at a plus 6.50 underdog. You can make 7.5 times your money, which is a huge payout. Now, Megan is much taller at 6 feet versus Amanda at 5'8". Megan also has a longer arm reach and a longer leg reach. The threats that I see is maybe a head kick from Megan because of that leg reach. Maybe for sure Megan beats her in the north-south position when her ass is up and her face is down. The other area is on her OnlyFans page. That's where she beats Amanda. Does she have an OnlyFans page? Who knows? But if she doesn't, she fucking should. Now Amanda, she's a way better striker, way better grappler. At 8 cents on the dollar, smart money puts it down on Amanda Nunes. Now let's break down the light heavyweight title fight of the night. Israel Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz. Israel coming in at a minus 250 favorite. You can make 40 cents on the dollar. And Jan at a plus 190 underdog. You can make 2.9 times your money. Now it's obvious that this is a fight between Jan's power and Israel's precision. But is the Polish power a myth? He knocked out Luke Rockhold, but is that the Polish power? Or does Luke Rockhold have a glass jaw? He knocked out Corey Anderson. Is that the Polish power? Or does Corey just suck? He couldn't knock out Jacare Souza at 205, and for sure his best performance was against Dominic Reyes. Now it was obvious there too that the roundhouse body kicks were working. He also landed a punch which broke Dominic Reyes' nose, and I'm sure that was very painful for Dom. And then of course he lands that left hook to the temple, which was the beginning of the end. But overall, Jan's boxing and his striking game in general is pretty sloppy. His punches are thrown sloppy. His kicks are thrown sloppy. He exposes himself a lot. He should focus on the body attacks. No headhunting from Jan. Use the Polish power in his legs to attack the body, finish the fight with body strikes, and that's how he gets it done. Now, Israel Adesanya. We know that he can take a punch, and he's faced power punchers before in Romero, in Costa, in Robert Whittaker, in Melvin Vettori. All of these guys have power in their striking. And his worst performance where he got that beating was against Kevin Gastelum. And he can never get into a war like that with the guys at 205. Now, even that, it's not a slight against Kevin Gastelum. Gastelum has a lot of heart. He has good range and a lot of power. And that fight is one of the greatest fights of all time, period. Now, with Israel, I see him executing a similar game plan to the Paulo Costa fight. He makes you flinch with the fake kicks, right? Then he attacks those kicks anyways. Heavy kicks to the body, front kicks, leg kicks, body kicks, and he opens you up for that head kick. And then he throws punches from all angles, looping punches and straight punches. This is such a great strategy from Israel, and he's so precise, he's so accurate. Smart Money puts it down on Israel Adesanya at 40 cents on the dollar. Who's got the better strategy and that better tactic? We're going to find out.